This show is rated M for mature, so parents put your kids to bed.
Welcome to the hangout. Let's gather around. No longer filter discussions. Tackling the topic, shedding light on all sides. Everyone has a story. Getting trends, ideas.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of The Hangout, a podcast that introduces real people talking about their careers, their life, who they are, and where they want to go. We believe everyone has a story that should be told from the ones that live it. Tonight, we have an artist that has been in the creator space for over 8 years, starting out sharing his love of the game Destiny to creating a dynamic and vibrant presence in the streaming world. He has carved out a unique niche for himself, blending his passion for gaming with his musical talent to create an engaging and entertaining experience for all. His journey into the spotlight has been marked with producing tracks with other streamers that show the same passion for their craft. His presence on the platform like Kick and X further amplifies his reach, allowing him to share his journey and growth as a freestyle artist with a broader audience. Tonight, we are honored to have in the studio Kick creator, music artist, Uhmaayyze. No, you're good.
Uh, Hello, everyone. My name's Uhmaayyze. I appreciate a lot of people who are out today. Thank y'all so much for coming in to vibe out. It's gonna be a beautiful time, and thank you so much, Rebel, for having me on the hangout. As we had our conversation, as I met you over there on X when I was streaming live, I always felt like your vibe was very, very cool, like very understanding, very, very grown energy. So very, very happy to be here. Very happy to say yes to be here. So thank you so much for having me.
No problem. I'm glad you said yes. Watching you and stuff like that. And like I said, talked to you a little bit about some of the people I've met since I started back doing the podcasting. I met with JL Savant. I'm getting ready to talk with Jay Vaughn, and I've met, talked with some other people. And the music industry over here in Kick, it is it's so amazing to see because yes, there's music streams over on the other platforms, but they're not like in a tight knit group, or not really tight knit, but they're not in a friend based group. I mean, you guys mainly know each other over here, and you get along with each other, and it's pretty cool. But we'll get into that a little bit later. Right now, I want to find out is who are you? I mean, who is Uhmaayyze?
Well, I'm a freestyle artist, gamer at heart. Started with gaming. I've been streaming on. I was streaming on Twitch for a good 7 years, 8 years, and sort of switched over to Kick in that eighth year in. Um, did a lot of Destiny. That was what got me started in streaming in the first place. And as I took a reset when I came over to Kick, I wanted to chase down a different field. So it was a little bit of a Destiny, but then we sort of like smoothed off from the Destiny field a little bit and went to go and chase one of my most valuable things I love to do a lot of, which is music. Um, and I've been doing music for a good 25 years of my life. Um, as well as freestyles. Freestyles were something that developed over time. Freestyles were not a thing of nature for me. Everything was written down back then, but I think I had more fun freeballing the raps and being able to think outside the box and sort of just looking at things in a different perspective. Like when I'm rapping and looking at things that I picture in my mind or something like that. I really, really, truly enjoy music to its highest core, coming up from some of the ones like Nas. I'm coming around to some of the stars like Notorious, Tupac, KRS-One, Eazy-E, Nate Dogg. Some of your your throwback legends, DMX. Those were the ones in my field of music that sort of got me really wanting to roll. Eminem. There's just a lot of individuals. I used to watch a lot of TRL back then, so music really hit me before school. My father always had us sit down, eat breakfast, and we'll watch a little bit of TRL, a little bit of BET. But overall,
And
uh,
TRL, that brings back some memories too. I used to watch that
yeah,
too.
man, yeah. And that sort of strived me out to push to be a little bit further in music. I used to do a lot of rapping and didn't even know half the words of some of the songs, but you know, it always resonated with me with music. If I'm around music, my father was a DJ, so all I really was around in that time was music. He used to take me to some of his things, his DJ sets, and he even had one at home, a couple at home, his own DJ spot down in his basement.
Oh,
Had a
wow.
lot of people come through, and he used to let me be able to come through for maybe like an hour or two because it was, bedtime was a certain time, so I had to be in bed. But he had a fun time. He enjoyed it. Um, and Motivated guy, man. I'm a motivated person. Always started to be more of a motivational person when I seen my father able to do two jobs, three jobs. He worked Philip Morris. He was a bus driver. He did UPS. He did Van Gogh. Van Gogh was for the handicapped, helping out the elderly.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
he did a lot of things. My father was definitely like a hero to me, and he always told me, like he said, "Hey, you don't want to be like me." And now that I'm working and grinding, I understand that a whole lot because he was right. I do not want to work as much as I do, but here we are,
Yeah.
with my own son to take care of, my own grind and dreams to chase. Um, it is being humble is one of the strongest things in my nature, especially with the UHM brand and what I stand for. Being positive, motivating, staying focused, and making the right choices. Learning from some of the wrong choices, taking a path of my own, and sort of seeing where that takes me. Uh, Very, very, very smiley kind of guy. Sometimes I hate it, but I can't help it. Always like to come in and have a smile and always hope for the best. That is just how I move and how I operate. Even on days where I feel like I'm in question or I feel a stumble, I feel like I've been troubled or been looked at wrong or disrespected. Somehow I still manage to find grace, find a way, and keep the smile along the way uh, with the name UHM. And that's usually what I stand upon: standing on business, staying focused, staying consistent, and staying positive.
And the positivity is one thing I found out because, like I said, ever since we've connected on Twitter, and I get a daily feed. There's always something positive in there, or some type of reassurance, or some type of affirmation that he puts in there, and it's good to see because I haven't seen that in a while. I used to do somebody years ago when I first got into the gaming that did that. You'd always in our Discord chat, you'd always have a daily affirmation, and so it's good to see that. It kind of like reassures me a lot of times when I see that first thing in the morning or mid morning or something like that. So,
Right.
but yeah, that's one thing is like very positive,
That's me,
and
man. I try to do as much as I can to find a positive outlook of any situation. If I can find it, I'm taking it. So,
yeah, and you guys all know too. If you follow him on Twitter, you get those same things I get. So, like I said, it's very, very inspirational and very comforting to know that that still exists out there compared to what we've been going through with the toxicity on all the social platforms and everything else. But um, so I mean, so get a little bit into it. You said you were what got you into content creation? Let's start there. What got you into content creation?
this one game called Destiny is made by Bungie. Note that I was not a streamer, knew anything about it. I was very hooked and dedicated to the game Destiny. Um, I used to help a lot of people with the motivation and energy you see now. I carried that energy with me in video games, helping out a lot of people once I learned the game and things about the game. After I stopped playing it with a couple of IRL friends and started really getting a taste of it on my own without being able to play with my friends, started to learn a little bit more about the game in my own way. And I started doing this thing called LFG, which means looking for groups. And looking for a group managed out of all the groups that I've helped out over 1,220 people
Wow.
in my raid career of helping people be successful in Destiny and teach them the ways of raids and let them have a little bit of fun. Out of those people, I've met maybe one person that recommended streaming to me. And were a very hype UK group. They were very under the weather, very stressed of this raid they had been in for about 10 or 11 hours. And I came in with this energy, and it was like, man, you're filled with so much energy. I'm ready now. And I helped them beat that raid within the first try that I got there. And they said, man, I recommend you go and do streams, man. You have one hell of a voice, man. You are very energetic, very motivational, or you have a strong leadership in your mind, very high being and very high up on motivating people and picking them up when they're down. And I said, streaming, what's that? And they broke it down to me, told me about Twitch. So I went and looked it up on my Xbox, and I installed it. And so the next day I tried it, and then that's where it all began.
Yeah. Yeah, I started on Mixer. So it's like Twitch was like back kind of like we did now, you sign up on both accounts, but I tried on Twitch when I first started and I just didn't get nothing because I didn't know anybody,
Right.
So it's
I was
just
the
like,
same way. I didn't know anybody as well, and back in the day, I only knew the people that were from the LFG group that came in to watch me. I was very, very excited to see me go and help other people because they wanted to learn some of the strategies that I were doing. Uh, when that came upon and met a lot of other people in the process as I went through the Destiny directory and got to know a lot of other people and what they were about and what they do. And if they were doing raid helps, I will always say, hey, if you need a helping hand, I'll help you out. A lot of people were very questioning or skeptical about what type of person I was, but um, when they got to know me, that's when the shine just kept going on and so forth, and the word started to travel that this guy does helps, and start developing Destiny and pushing to Destiny 2. And I think that's when it all started to take off from Destiny 2, then Twitch seeing me who I was. Just a lot of things just took off so fast, so unexpectedly. So there is a luck base, but there is a point where I didn't give up, even going through so many things, even that had to do with IRL life. So a lot of things do come into perspective when you're trying to make the choices of being a streamer, whether it comes to your relationship, whether it comes to your IRL life, whether it comes to something that you need to be doing outside of the gaming space or streams. All these did play a factor, but at the end of the day, it all paid off.
yeah, it sounds like it. So how long was you on Twitch?
8 years.
8 years. Oh man. Yeah, you've been in the game longer than I have.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I mean, so when did you start doing? Was it? I mean, you did Destiny streams and gaming streams on Twitch. When did you start learning about like doing the? Did you ever do the music streams over there, like right off the rip, or?
Yes, the music was always integrated into my
Oh,
Destiny
okay.
stream. So it was after hitting a certain amount of subs, because at the end of the day, I had to learn how to, now that I have a crowd, now how to maneuver to build revenue for myself in my streams, because that is the only way I'm going to be able to prosper in these streams and keep these things going. My father gave me my first investment to start the streams, and it was all up to me to find a way to build. So I built from that, doing freestyles, which attracted more people in. Even though it was raid helps, what the attraction was and what helped them around was the freestyles and rapping about what I was doing and rapping about whether we're sitting down. If we had 5 subs back in the day, I would drop a rap right off rip in that point. I would just be rapping at that point, and then after that, I get back to it. Somebody drop another 5, I'll get back into it. I had the most subs on Twitch towards the biggest streamers in the industry. Um, I was definitely creating something totally different than what you would see in a space when it came to it of watching streamers and or bases their revenue. That was when the talent and the niche spoke in. So the niche and the unique talent with a video game that has a crowd of people and with people who really enjoy music all integrated into this one stream. So it sort of built me up to the highest piece of content that was being developed on Twitch, which got me seen in the eyes of Bungie. Now, on top of that, doing a video for Bungie for the game Destiny 2, which was one of my favorite games. Very, very be able to be happy to work with the company that I love and the game that I love dearly. So I made a music video for the game that I love dearly. Then I got noticed on Twitch, got put on Times Square, which created me being a host at TwitchCon's event, as
Oh
well as
wow.
being a host at one of GCX event, as well as being seen and might being able to take a flight over to, since they want me to come out there as well, St. Jude's. And I only did those. I did not do anything that had to do with charity if it didn't have to do with St. Jude. And that was the only thing that I really pushed for and really worked my butt off. So anything that had to do with donations for St. Jude, I would freestyle the entire way through until
Oh
my time
wow.
was up. But we made a lot of donations. They showed a lot of love. And St. Jude is probably the number one spot, as well as it saved my son's life. I did not, my son did not come out breathing, but St. Jude did everything that they could to bring my son to life. Very, very hard rocking hill and things to talk about when it comes to that. But I will always have the respect and always have the love and blessings and thank you to St. Jude for what they did to bring my precious one to life, for why I can have a reason to show him what life feels like and how it can be. So yeah.
Oh wow, yeah, that's yeah. St. Jude's a good. I love St. Jude, and I try to do back when I used to do the gaming streaming and stuff like that. I try to do a lot of stuff for him. Um,
Yeah,
and
them are
that's
the ones I do things for.
yeah, that was one of the major children's charities and stuff like that that I did a lot. I didn't like do a lot or gain a lot, but I tried to promote them as much as possible.
Right.
So you sit there and said one thing is it's like you rapped it for subs and stuff like that and sang for subs. I mean, what is that when you found the freestyling?
Yes, Destiny 2. Everything was developed in this game, Destiny. I only played one game my entire career, and that was Destiny. I made up took some time off to play a little bit of Jason Friday the 13th, but that's scary, right? And maybe one time to go play some Resident Evil, but that didn't last too long. A couple, maybe 2, 3 days, and then went right back to Destiny. Destiny was always the primary and the go-to game every day. Um, I came to kick and played a little bit of Diablo. That was the big talk, so I went and tried that out. I was addicted for a little bit, and then yet again we got put back into this Destiny too. So it's literally one of the games I was very addicted to, but it was a very strong and dedicated community that I built from it that's actually support me today. Um, um, if the Franks is out there in chat, he's really one of my dedicated peoples out there. He's done
Mhm.
the gift hits for me each and every day, and he does it at any point in time when he can. I always want to make sure I eat. He knows I have a very strong talent. He knows how hard I work. It's always been with me for the longest period of time. That is a W human, a W brother, a W family. Um, he knows I struggle sometimes out here, but he definitely knows I try. So I've got some individuals, man, that have really rock with me from those Twitch days and the start outs of developing content. So
So when so you started out on Twitch and now you're on Kick. I mean, so what was your deciding factor to transition to full time Kick?
Um, the money, man. Money's very important. Yeah. Money's very important to me. As Twitch started to nail down on these 70 to 30s, going to these 50/50s, um, I work my butt off on Twitch. I do a lot of raps. I bring out a lot of content that I provide for the platform itself. And I'm blessed to have a platform that provide my content, but I'm not blessed for a platform to take my money
Yeah.
and dip into my pot without doing anything to push me out there to the forefront of their categories of what it is that I can provide for them. Now here on Kick, I went over here and get that 99, what is it, 95-5 split.
Yeah.
Uh, and seeing all of my money that resonates with me in so many ways makes me so much happier because I'm getting every bit of the penny here. I'm getting every bit of what I put out, how much work I put on. And then on top of that, that being the only platform that's paying creators hourly with the subs that are gifted, I am trying to eat, I am trying to build, and I am trying to invest. And Kick is doing that right now. They have been pushing that. Yeah, they have the hiccups here and there, but I can say I can go on this platform, stream, and have a good time, know I'm getting paid for it, and I work my butt off to get there. Um, a platform that's on the up and coming and really just learning the ropes like we are, finding the ways, the little niches, the little problems, and getting rid of those, even though that makes so many people mad. But at the end of the day, I've always told, man, if you want something, you're going to work for it, no matter how much you complain about it. It's just a new challenge. You just got to get onto it and find a way to build. That's how we did it on Twitch, and that's how you got to do it here on Kick.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I think Kick, I don't know. I really don't understand. Like I said, I mean, I was just looking at it as a new platform because when I first started out as in the business aspect, it was just kind of hard to grasp the 95-5 split thing. It's just like, how can a
Right.
business stay in business, giving 95% of its revenue away? But, I know it's backed by, the bigger companies and the investors. But yeah, I mean, it's just like, so you built your community on Twitch. I know I seen you ran a poll here not too long ago about your Twitch community versus your Kick community.
Mhm.
And you had a lot more of your Twitch community respond to it than you did your Kick community. Why do you think that is?
It's because majority of my Twitch community really loves me over there on Twitch. And half of that community on Twitch has a strong moral, and I don't blame them
Mm.
for it. Um, the way Kick looks at itself to be and what it seems to be on the forefront stands out much stronger for these people over here on Twitch, my community, my folks over there that want to see me back. Um, they don't agree with some of the ways that Kick moves and operates, and I get it. I understand. To each their own. I do love Kick, and Kick is home. I just wanted to see what majority of my community wanted to see me at as a test of where my community is sitting at. And majority of my community is sitting at Twitch, and that is what the biggest issue is with trying to reel them over here to Kick, because I know that they're on Twitch and I know that they see me here on Kick, but they're not going to take that leap knowing that what Kick stands for to them. You know what I mean? So
No,
we're working in a way right now. I am going to do the best I can in a way to push out the platform in a very positive mindset and continue to push that to see if that a lot of people want to basically take a chance, come over here and vibe out and see that it's a little different. I guess with the V2 that comes out, maybe that might bring a little bit more people over, take a little bit of the edge off and see if they have anything that they might want to vibe with. But until then, I just know I do have a Twitch community that's waiting for me. Um, but I do love Kick, and Kick is definitely the area that pays the bills. And the reason I got so many things I got now, man, if it wasn't for Kick, man, I'd probably be in the same situation, just still trying to make it. So
yeah.
yeah,
No, I mean, I like the idea. I like the idea of what Kick is doing for creators. That's, that was one thing, I was really impressed with. And what you see, and it's what I tell everybody, it's just like what you see on social media, you can't take that as golden, what is going on these platforms, because
no,
negativity sells on social media,
of course,
So when you see all these negative posts, and like I said, I wasn't looking at all the negativity when it came out, with all the other streamers that were causing the issues.
right,
My biggest thing was looking at it as a business perspective. I was really hesitant on the fact, because what happened with a lot of my friends that were on Mixer, you know, I just didn't want to see the same thing, because I seen a lot of my Mixer friends, flocking over here to that because they were advertising the 95.5. Um, and like I said, my biggest thing was sustainability, but without having all the extra revenue sources and everything else like most platforms have. Um, and I'm sorry if you guys are on X. I don't have the chat pulled up, so if you guys are chatting with us on X, I'll pull it up here in a minute. I'm sorry, I just realized I didn't have that chat pulled up. um, but yeah, like I said, the negativity on Kick, it's on every platform. I mean, Twitch is no different than Kick
right,
when it comes to the negativity.
very true. All platforms to me are the same. It's at the end of the day, you go what you see fit for your platform, your growth, where you're seen in the light. You go where you feel you can do things, not just to be where you're tolerated. You go
Yeah,
where you're tolerated in a way, but if you're not being seen for the work that you're putting out, you find a platform for you that works. Um, no platform to me is going to tell me how a platform is being operated. I don't really care who the forefront or face is of any of the platforms. At the end of the day, I am here to put on for Maze and what Maze brings to the table. I'm not worried about what everybody at the top of the platform is doing, because that is on them. And at the end of the day, as Kick as a whole as a platform, if they feel like they're tumbling, they'll handle the situation. So at the end of the day, to each their own. Yet again, I'm here to put on for the positive space, provide a beautiful community, and build from that. That is all I'm here to do. And a lot of people should go in the same mindset and stop really worried about the
yeah,
noise, because the noise is going to be the reason and your biggest holdback to the career chase that you're trying to go to.
yeah. No, I agree. Um, I definitely agree on that. As just with anything, like I said, I mean, you can go through all these. I mean, even YouTube. If you
Mhm.
go through the millions of YouTube views, or bigger creators and stuff like that, there is a lot of toxic creators on there, just like there is anywhere else.
Of course, of course.
It's just, YouTube has a little bit stronger moderation, because so they
Mhm.
try to keep it.
Well,
They try to,
they've been around the battlefield for a while, so
yeah,
they know what's going on.
yeah, yeah. These people, they circle through the cones of the TOSs and stuff like that, because they know how to get through them.
Yeah.
But no, like I said, I mean, I'm a firm believer now. Kick is going to be a good platform, as long as it can, you know, sustain what it's doing. That's like I said, I still have that biggest fear. Like I said, as a business perspective, I have that biggest fear of, sustainability. But like I said, as long as it keeps up with, its revenue source that it has, and sooner or later, if it cleans up in order to get certain things in here, like from what I've heard, that's what they're trying to do. It'll be more beneficial. And now that the KCIP is out, I think that's going to be even more of a bigger. That's actually a game
KCIP is
changer.
probably going to be the biggest game changer because there is no platform out here doing it as
Oh
of
hell no.
now. And maybe these platforms might need to step it up a little bit to pay some of these creators that are out here really working their butts off to get paid hourly. Because technically now there's a lot of people that do this streaming as a full-time job. And I truly don't believe that if you're doing something as a full-time job and getting paid for it, that means that you are really, really not doing as much. For it to be a full time career type deal yet. I will wait until you get paid, or at least have some brands or sponsors in your pocket where you can live off it monthly, basis off the hopes of getting subs every time. I always believe in the full mind of choice of subs and who subs are gifted to. To each your own. Everybody has a sub buddy that they have. There's a lot of people that have their sub buddies. If you've seen in these kick streets and these kick streams that they that gift them out 500, 600, 700 subs. These are just people just coordinated with those individuals. Me, at the end of the day, the money is not going to be able to phase who I am as a person. If you give the subs to my channel, I'm going to assume you just enjoy the content and you wanted to keep it coming. And that is
Yeah.
what the mindset it is for me. I will not let anybody buy me out, no matter how or what the case may be. No one's going to tell me how to direct, focus, or push my path. I don't care how many subs. You can give out 6,000. I'm still going to operate the way I move. And if I have a problem with something, I'm going to speak on it. That is just how I do my thing out here. That's my vibe. That's how I carry myself. Money is never going to change who I am as a person. You got to believe in a person first to understand exactly where they're going. Take the time.
Yeah. I mean, and two, it's just like, Click It in chat sat there and said, they're already starting to get small sponsors, like, or not really small sponsors, but they're already starting to catch the eyes of certain sponsors, OBS bot.
The OBS bot. Yeah.
It's actually what I am streaming off right now is an OBS bot 4K camera.
Nice.
Good
thing to have.
So, and not a promo for them. I'm not sponsored by them, but it is for the size and for the size of the camera. It's a very 100% quality camera.
It is.
But no, like I said, yeah, I think people are going to start going past all that. They're going to realize it's like, okay, this is just, social media negativity, people trying to nitpick on things, and these sponsors will start coming in. So I think
they will. It takes time. They're still still in the baby steps, and yet again, Kick is like the rest of us. They are learning the curves, and they don't have the same teams like Twitch and YouTube. Everybody's got to start somewhere and learn somewhere, right? That's how it goes. We're back to the old drawing board, they say.
Yep. And like I said, when I first
smoke.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, because I do too. Yeah, you can. This is I rate it M for maturity, because sometimes we get into conversations that's not for the ill fate, or the younger age, but no, like I said, I gave it 6 months when it first came out. It's just like, I'm going to monitor it for 6 months, see what it does, and see if it, how it produces, and some of the feedback from some of the creators. And then once that happens, then, I'll come over. And I did. I started streaming my gaming channel over here.
Nice.
This right here is, when I started doing this, this is what, the 4th podcast in that I've, from this new season that I've done. Like I said, I took about a year and a half off of podcasting. So,
okay.
So I started the brand new season right here on Kick, and I tried multi-streaming to Twitch, and my people over there must have disappeared or something, or my channel's full of bots, one of the two, I don't know.
I do not question the part about the bot part, because that can definitely fool a lot of individuals, so I totally get it.
That's why I said you can't always go by followership. You got to go by how your chat moves and your engagement. That is right. What's most important.
That's right.
So yeah. So like I said, I'm, when I went down to Loot Fest, I saw you were at Loot Fest, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
I was gonna say, I thought I saw you down there. Loot Fest, because we had a booth right next to Kick,
Mm.
and my organization that I'm a part of, and we, it was the very first thing. Oh God, I can't remember. It's the guy with the mustache, the bar handle mustache. Um, or Jesus, Santa Maria.
Santa Marita.
Yeah,
Yes,
he was down
great
there.
individual. That is a brother of mine, a great friend of mine. Um, very, very good out there in person, man. A very good listener, very observant. Um, as if he sees you and he knows you, he tells you things about you that you will be shocked that he even knows. But a lot of people really talk down on Santa Maria. He's a really good individual and he really takes the time. He's a busy, busy guy, but he cares for the platform in ways that a lot of people will probably never understand. Um, he's easy to talk to, easygoing guy. He's does as much as he can with the power that he has, but is still yet up against the creator themselves to push what they're asking for at a stronger narrative. I always say give yourselves a little bit of time, maybe a year or two, before you go up and ask for such big things for yourselves. Um, there's a lot of people. I think it's a lot of people just really believe it's short and easy, but I just believe that if you stay consistent and throw the stats on your brand board, um, good things are going to be able to come to you in due time. Not
Yeah,
everybody is the same, and not everybody's on the same path or see the same goal. So, in due time, things do come.
yeah. I know we got a little bit off topic. I know this was the kick thing was like towards. I was going to push that towards the end, but like I told him, I go, we're free flow. This is not scripted. I don't do scripts. I hate scripts. Um, because I can never go off of them.
I'm
So
just a podcast kind of guy.
no, I mean that's one thing is I did go back. Like I said, I do research my guests, especially if I don't know a lot about them. And I saw some of the things, some of the interviews you've done before. That's why a lot of know who he is and everything else. So I didn't want to like have him repeat himself like 9,000 times because I know when guests get on podcasts, that's what they do. He's like, "Who are you? What you do?" And they've already said it like 9,000 times. Um, but I am very interested in like his, the music side of things for one. That's the reason why I've asked all these guests on because I do believe I've always believed music is like it guides us in so many ways. It doesn't matter what kind of music it is.
Right.
Um, so I'm really glad to see because, like I said, over on the Purple platform and even on some of the other platforms I've been on, there's not really there's a category, but it's just like all over the place. There's just not like nothing creative in my opinion.
I get you. I get you. As really, I've had a conversation sometime today and sometime last week about the uncomfortable truths about some streamers just are not streamers, and I think a lot of people it's the streaming industry is so oversaturated right now, and I think that it's just filled with a lot of creators who just see some of their highest and most top favorite creators doing things that they believe they can do the same. When a lot of people just don't have that energy and drive, I think they're just following down a path of belief with nothing, complaints, just a lot of stress. Um, Content creation isn't for everybody unless you are doing it for fun and enjoying yourself. That is a great way for you to be seen. Doing it without any expectation is probably one of the strongest ways, but it's so hard to do it without an expectation when you start getting addicted to it because now it's starting to come from no expectation to expectations. Uh, I think that is something that a lot of people are hard on to learn. They expect that to have the most. A lot of people believe that so much that goes on that comes down to it is uh, this viewership that a lot of people think that they see based upon bots, based upon embeddeds, and based upon 30 to 50 tabs of watching themselves and make themselves believe that they have 50 viewers or 60 viewers when it's just really you're not a content creator. If you
Yeah.
have to do that, you're just not a content creator. You should definitely uh quit while you're ahead. And this is not to be disrespectful, but this is just a very strong truth. Just quit while you're ahead and not put so much stress on yourself and find something that is very really really made for you or come back and resurface content creation when you feel like you have something of value to bring to the table.
Yeah. No, that's what I struggle. I mean, I'm the same way. I struggle with that in the gaming side of things. I like playing the games, but I like just playing with friends, just on a random
And that's
occasion.
fun content to watch, playing with friends, and if y'all
Yeah.
having a good time, enjoying yourselves, I think that is great content. I think a lot of people are not nowadays trying to jump into the categories of playing video games with friends for content and expectations. That is what the problem is right now is
Yep.
playing with friends of expectations, expecting something out of a friend because he's a little bigger than you, and you hope that this will happen, you hope that would happen, and he's not really enjoying himself or she's not really enjoying herself. It just went down to a point where that person came with expectations. You're not having as fun as having much fun as I am. I'm having fun, but you're looking at the side that you don't have a viewership or people watching your channel. So the friends don't become as much as a friends. They become more of a business perspective, and the business
Yep.
didn't go well with them. So the friend factor went out the door. Now that that person felt so bad, they don't want to connect with the next creator because they don't want to expect the same thing. And I think that is the hardest thing since streaming has came into the category of playing with friends or connecting with other creators. It has created a very, very strong line of can I trust you?
Yeah.
Can you trust me? Kind of deal. It's not really fun. It's just what are your expectations? And the other person is probably thinking the same thing.
Oh
So
yeah. I get it. Even the podcasting thing. When I reach out to people for conversations or
yeah,
interviews.
I
You
can only
know,
imagine.
I mean, I've been lucky. Everybody that I've reached out to, like I said, out of all of the ones that I've done, I've only been done I think denied like twice.
Mm,
And one of them was a flat no, and one of them was like, "I'll get back to you," and I just never heard back.
right.
Um, but that's one thing is like people. I think you're right. People do focus on the fact that okay, yeah, they get into it for the wrong reason. That is the whole thing. They get into it for the wrong reason.
Yes.
You know, um, and that's one thing. With some of my people in the group that I'm with, we try to focus on building their confidence and everything up, and try to tell them that numbers numbers should not even be considered until like after you're streaming. You look at your numbers afterwards and see where you've either messed up or whether you've, you
Numbers are
know,
going to be hard to come by. This is a hard truth. Yet again, another uncomfortable truth for a lot of people. Numbers are
yeah,
going to be very hard to come by when there's so many people in the space that are streaming now. So you don't have the viewership of that expectation because that viewer that used to be a viewer is a streamer now. So he's going to chase his dream or she's going to chase her dream. That's just something you can't take from them. You inspired them to go out there and do what they wanted to do.
yeah,
Um, you can't take that away from them. A lot of people are looking for viewerships without thinking how to build up a viewership. You must have something. I always tell people have a mind of their own. No matter what you think or how you feel, if they're going to watch you, they're going to watch you. I use Santa Maria Andrew himself as a comparison on what people want to watch. If Andrew's up and you're up, they're coming to Andrew because he has an expectation. He has stats to his stature.
hmm,
That is one thing that a lot of people don't understand. He's ahead of Kick. He is a cool and down to earth guy. People want to ask him questions. They're going to go to the guy that is able to provide the answers to the questions for the platform that he's on. Now, if he went to Twitch and did something, it wouldn't be the same. You get what I'm talking
yeah.
about? But
Oh,
he's here
definitely.
on Kick and he has a head stat. He is at the top. That is as well goes for Eddie, all of the owners. Of course, a lot of people are going to come and watch those individuals. So it all goes with a mind of our own. A viewer has a mind of their own. If they want to watch you, they will. These are things that are another uncomfortable truth that a lot of people are uncomfortable with. If your content wants to be watched, they're gonna come watch it. If
Yeah,
somebody wants to go and watch and talk in your channel, they're gonna talk. There's a lot of individuals that believe that viewers don't want to watch your channel. Well, they probably don't. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, that is just that's how the world works. This is something a lot of people have to learn. You have to find ways to attract individuals. There's different type of contents and niches that attract individuals, whether it be art, whether it be music, whether it be gaming, whether it be your mentality, whether it be how you carry yourself, how you look. It's all these play a role in the streaming factor. And I think a lot of people really don't understand the facts that those are things that come in with streaming. No matter where you go, if you didn't grow on Kick and you didn't grow on Twitch, it will remain that way until you find a way to reel in a crowd of folks and give them a reason to come see you. Now, there's two ways to do this thing. You can go out there and meme and do dumb things and go to the negative route and pull a negative crowd, but be unhappy in your mind because that's not what you were looking for. Or you can take the harder route, be positive, find some great content that you love that has fun for you, and wait a little while until you're able to attract those. And the third, go out there and actually watch other channels that that you enjoy, and they might come and find you. That is all of these are ways to build yourself up and get your viewership going. There's a lot of people that look at me as the most biggest individual in the world, but I tell them, what do you see? Because there is no viewership that comes to my channel besides 20 or 30 that I'm very appreciative of. But I always say, to each their own, everyone has a mind of their own. If they wanted to watch your channel, they'll be there. That is
Yeah.
how it works. You don't need to post about your live. You don't even got to do any of those things. Santa Maria doesn't have to post that he's live. If you see him, you're going to check him out. That is just how it operates. It's a must go to click kind of
Yeah.
vibe. You want to make yours the same type of deal. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep. No, and that's great. That's great advice. Another thing I always tell people too, it's just like you're talking about, the quality of the content creator. And like I said, you've got to, in this business here, it's just like any entertainment business, you've got to be able to, and that's one thing you got to realize, you're entertainers.
Yes.
You're not,
Entertainer. You're an entertainer of your own caliber. You have
yeah,
to remember that. Please don't compare.
no. But yeah, it's one thing I always tell people. It's just like, because everybody's like, well, nobody comes into my streams, nobody does this. And it's like, well, I never see you. I never see when you go live. You don't interact with nobody outside of when you go live. Well, I post in Discord, I post here, I post. It's like, that's not how you network. It's not how you grow.
Yeah, you can say to anybody that you're live in Discord. I'm one of the people who do not check notifications when it comes to Discord. So if I'm not in Discord at that moment that you hit the live button, then I missed out. Uh,
Yeah.
I always say it's an email notification, but there at the end of the day, Kick has these very strong hiccups that we're trying to fix because there's a lot of people not getting my notifications that I am live. We're trying to get that out of the way. So that could be a part of the hiccup. Um, uh there's a lot of, yet again, it's that free mind, that thing that a lot of people don't want to hear, that
Yeah.
if you are live and somebody wants to watch you, they will watch you. That is just
No.
how it goes. If you gravitate those people to you, they will come. There is no way, shape, or form to beg, to cry, to tear. And more than likely, most people are gonna come to your channel when you're in tears. That's
Yeah.
a way of gravitating. But who knows how long you can keep up that act if you're out there crying and tearing all day, stressed out of your mind. Something has happened to you that's gonna gravitate. Now let's flip those narratives. You're happy. You're having a great day. Are people going to check you out as much? I don't think so. But at the end of the day, you do have your regulars who love what you do, so they're going to be there every day or every given moment. That is just how that operates. A lot of people really don't understand this, is which is why there's a lot of people I cannot tell are either trauma acting, stress acting, using mentals as a way to pull viewership.
Mm.
It's just a lot of things that people want to do to pull viewership to them. I've seen people numerous amount of times say that they quit and then they come back, then they quit again, then they come back. It's just I'm in and I'm out, I'm in, I'm out. Which one is this? Like my grandma told me, you're either in or you're out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that is
those.
that is what's going on with the world today when it comes to content creation. Just, if, like I said, if somebody likes watching you, man, they're just gonna come watch. It is the common rule of the world that you just have to have something for them to watch. If you're view botting, you're gonna pull in viewers that are real,
Yeah.
because they're gonna come in there and say you're botting, you're cheating. So you just manage to get engagement from a lot of people who are angry. Um, Different crowds to attract. You know
Yep.
what I mean? So
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, content creation is a beast, and it's nothing. I mean, the one thing I always get is like when I very first started, everybody's like, "Oh, I'm going to be like the next Ninja or the next Tim the Tap Man or the next such and such." It's like, no,
no,
you're
you're not.
not. For one, I'll give you one good reason why you never will, because they were in the beginning when there wasn't a lot of content creators,
Correct.
so they coined the term of content creation. It always had a thing. It's just like, if any of them just like completely started over with a totally different name, blank slate, would they be able to make it in today's saturated world? That's
No, that is,
no.
you'll be working 10 times harder, which you have to do now if you are not already years in, and you don't know good connections. You will have to work harder. If you decide to stay to yourself, you will remain to yourself. If you decide to work and take a chance and connect with other people, you might progress further in life. Your name can be thrown in the bucket by somebody just because, hey, I've been around this guy. He's a genuine individual. He does great podcasts. Or I could use Sin X. That is a queen of caliber, a sister of mine, a family of mine that really cares for what I speak, how I operate, how I carry myself. I love her dearly with my full on heart. That is somebody that I recommend to anybody when it comes to podcasts. So she's a person that very much tries in a very, very strong way. She's very giving, very loving, very caring. And that was for me taking a chance to vibe out with this individual. And it took for me to from another individual for me to meet this individual to know that this individual was a fan of mine. But now from a fan to family, she's a very, very cool individual. I have mad love for her. She's a very, very supportive individual and very cool, very humble as well. She learns a lot. So she's really, really good to be around.
And that's another key point too, is always learn from somebody. Always,
Right.
you've got to learn because you don't know everything, especially if you just started.
Correct.
Just what, with Amaze being in it for over 8 some years. Um, he was like back in the beginning when content creation was starting, basically.
Man, had a dream. I embrace. That's exactly when I felt like I could really dream chase. And this generation now is just questionable on where dreams rely or where they go. Uh, I got a beautiful chat, man, that just keeps the dream alive. This is,
Yeah.
I tell you, bills get paid through them, man. So they keep the boy humble. We keep going because of these individuals. They know I go and have some upsetting times, and they know me well. They know I speak out, and they know I'm very upset. And sometimes I say things that might be upsetting, but a lot of people really can understand where it's coming from. And we continue to remain humble. They're just as humble as I am, just as strong as I am. They know I mean no harm. They just know that I'm really, really sometimes upset. Whereas working as hard as you do, sometimes it can really hit you in your noggin, doing as much as you can to keep up a process and keep people going and trying to focus on yourself and trying to restart and show people how to truly build and have a organic growth pattern
Yeah.
of streaming, which is some of the hardest things to find out in this industry. So
Yeah, most definitely. I was just reading some of the chat. Constantly learning and growing yeah, you've got to. Like I said, this it's just like any job. I mean, it's anything in your life, not really work related. It's just life. If you don't learn from others, you're going to be lost in the fold somewhere down the road because everybody has a different experience than you do.
oh yeah.
You know,
Hmm.
it's just like one of the things I was going through today. I just, for some reason, it's just like, out of the blue, I just like, okay, life is a perception and it's perceived by however and this is like one of the philosophical debates over like multitudes of generations and centuries. But, I do believe that life in general is just what you perceive of it, how you want it to progress. So if you're set back on, worrying about, when it comes to content creating, worrying about the numbers, why my numbers aren't here and everything else, if you keep worrying about that number, then yeah, that's going to hold you back.
Numbers are going to destroy you until a lot of people get away from the numbers. Until a lot of people get away from the numbers, that is going to be the biggest issue. So if you're tied to numbers, that's going to be one of your main reasons that you will not see what you're trying to see in life. Numbers do not tell your end all be all type deal. Numbers are just there to tell you how many people legit just like watching you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the always thing I look at on anybody's stream is I look at the little chat box on the side, like tonight, anytime I have a podcast and I see the chat rolling and asking questions and everything else, that makes me feel like I'm actually doing what I like to do. It makes me feel good about doing what
Oh,
I'm
that's your
doing.
podcast, man. You got
Yeah.
a good thing going, man. I told you I'm very glad to be here. The whole vibe, man. So
So, and yeah, I mean, So Sin X was the one you just did an interview with, right? Here, not recent.
Yes,
Okay, okay,
always
okay.
family is so happy to, and I'll do another one with her. She's such an amazing individual, very prepped, very getting
Yes.
everything right. So she is definitely good on when it comes down to mental health and setting things up. She's very hardworking, very strong on scheduling. So yeah,
Yeah, I watched that podcast and very good. You did a very good job on that.
thank you so much.
Um, I mean, both of you did actually. She did a good job putting it together and hosting it, and you did a great job, being the guest. So I'm that's why I've seen a lot of people with the podcast. It's like everybody sits there and is like, okay, I'm going to start a podcast. It's
Mhm.
like it's not as easy as you think it is.
No, there's a lot of planning behind it, especially if you're trying to do it right. So, um, it's a whole vibe on that. So yeah.
Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, people just like, oh, I can do a podcast. And it's like, well, yeah, you can sit there and talk, but can you engage and keep engaging?
Yeah.
It took me 10 or 15 tries to get it right. So,
Hey,
or
you
at
got to
least,
learn. Everything's a learning curve here. So, boom.
yeah. I mean, if you look back at some of my older stuff on my YouTube, you could see where, I thought like the bigger graphics, the bigger flash, the bigger everything else was better. No, it's not. Just
Mhm.
the simple, the simple stuff. It's not about the whole,
Well, to say the simple stuff is always usually the best stuff,
yeah.
man. A lot of people go advanced and expect so much when you put so much time in, but the simple stuff is usually nowadays the best stuff. Don't really look too much into all the fancy anymore. It's just who's up there, who's on,
Yeah.
you know. So
So let's get back into the music side of it. I mean, when did you start? Because you sit there and said that freestyling wasn't something that you did in the beginning. When did you start getting into freestyling,
freestyles um into streaming per se
or just
or in general.
in general?
It started in my middle school year, so maybe seventh grade. From there on in, carried it out. Sort of took a break after I graduated high school. Started really focusing on trying to get a job, a career. I was working my 11th grade year in UPS. My father took us to work until I got my driver's permit, which was a cool thing. And started chasing music again when I met somebody at work that I worked with that was in college. Um, Writing music wasn't freestyling per se, but I think I really started letting the freestyles go a little bit more when it came down to streaming. So, and that was a chat that just wanted to hear that come back. And you got a chat to be able to hype you up like to do. You're able to do a lot of things. Good to see it like chat's like a crowd or like a social IRL crowd, but they're on the internet and they're just hyping you up and building you up, giving you the energy to keep going and do a lot more. Um, I think that's when the freestyle started going out so much more. And since I've done it so much, it just now just becomes as such a easy thing for me, uh, which I think is yet again pretty cool to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just it's a fun little thing that I got going. So
No, it amazes me, because like I said, watching your stuff. Like I said, I met you through X. I watched you on Next, and you were in a deep conversation with your chat. So that's how I actually started interacting with you. But
mm,
the streams I watch whenever I'm working in here, if you're on, I usually pull you up and listen to you. Um, just because of the fact that your freestyles, you and everything else that you just come off the riff. And I always love people that can freestyle. I mean, there's some people that can't. They think they can, but they can't. um, but I have a few friends of mine that do the freestyle streams, just on a whim or whatever. And but no, listening to freestyle just always amazes me. It's just like just finding a topic in a conversation and just start, putting the beat
pretty
to it and
fun.
everything else. Yeah. Something I can't do. I know I can't do. I'm not going to try to do it.
Yeah, I
Um,
get you. I understand. I understand.
I'll leave it to the professionals.
I get it. I get it.
But no, like I said, it's something that I really enjoy to hear, and because when people freestyle, you can tell that they love doing it. You can feel the vibe in what they're doing and everything else. So if
Right.
they bring you into that vibe, that's what I think is what makes them a great artist and stuff like that.
Correct.
Um, so what are some of the things I know you did some, you said you did the Destiny thing. And if you don't mind, I actually found that video if nobody's ever seen it.
Yes, the Destiny video for Bungie. Yeah, you
Yeah.
get great payment from that. So yeah,
Has anybody ever seen that?
I
If I
think
could.
someone probably have. It depends who's there, who's watching. Because I haven't thought about it much, but I'm down to look at it if you're down to look at it.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, it should go across. So yeah, I was when I was researching him. Oops, I gotta put. This is what I'm saying. Sometimes I forget. There we go. Um, but yeah, this is what I was doing is researching stuff because I always research YouTube and Twitter and everything else, and just try to find information, that I don't already know. And when I seen this, and it's like, oh, cool. It was really awesome to find out that I knew he liked Destiny, but I didn't realize he was, he did this. So if you guys don't know, this is what we were talking about in the beginning, where he did a video for Destiny 2. You guys hear it okay?
Everybody has a destiny. Everybody starts in green gear. Welcome to Destiny 2. You pick and choose. Got a warlock, a titan, and hunter that's coming through. A solo player pick on a classic. Go pursue. I even learned a couple plays from streamers you never knew. I started with some guns that were really low to new exotics and some purples with some godly rolls. I've seen the Hive, seen the Beck, seen Cabal. Even the witness making calls just to see you fall. Nevertheless, you can travel far. Get with your friends, hyperspace, right up in the Mars. One stage, I'm trying to craft a whole glaive in this enclave. Then take shots and use the melee in my own way. I come with styles and 1,000 choices. Like I made a last wish with 1,000 voices. Putting Sabbath on the rest while I'm squeezing ghosts. Even the darkness want to scorn if you didn't notice. Gunshots is a fire play. I'm trying to gamble every shot with the ace of spades. Tell your friends come and travel to the social space so we can laugh and grab bounties for a lovely raid. Now that's a fire play. Choose paths, make ways. I believe you can show us what it takes. One shot, one play, one guardian can help you save the day. I remember all the days that I started as a memer, and D2 showed me how to pop it as a streamer. I'm flying through the galaxy with coffee and some creamers. The travel ain't the only one out here who really needs ya.
I'm smelling so hard.
Zabala Akora. I guess they seeing me, opening some doors to me seeing more. This is my story, so tell me yours.
Now that was awesome, dude. When I heard that, it's just like I cannot. That is fucking cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was like it's like so. If you guys have never seen that, it's like it was. I really had to go back. It's like, okay, is that him? I know he's Destiny. It's got to be him.
Yes, it is definitely me.
So I mean, that was pretty cool that you're able to take your passion for music and everything else, and your passion for the game, and create something like this.
Yeah, shouts out to Bungie. A lot of people on the team really love what I do when it came to music and how I integrated music into their game. And playing with some of the heads of Bungie and knowing some of the biggest heads at Bungie that were big fans of positivity, motivation, and as well as the music. So they definitely flew me out to LA and let me have a great time of my life as we were making this music video. Didn't pay for anything, treated me like I was a famous superstar. Anything I needed, they got it for me. Anything I wanted, they got it for me. Took me out on sites to be able to see Nipsey Hussle, and Nipsey Hussle's like paint and spray work, and put me out there to take pictures out there where Hollywood was. Just anything that I wanted to do. That they didn't, but they also did know time and crunch time, so I need to be on my work schedule. I need to be on my my build up and be able to get ready to record this song and start with the studio first, and then the next 2 days it was time to get yourself right. So yeah, that was a bigger piece of how music and how fun that video was. They all, when I did the music video, they actually thought that this was like something like easy for me, because they was like, man, you're making all of this look easy, man. You do this for a living? I was like, no, this is actually my first time, but it felt good to know that you come out there, you stand on business. And I came out there and stand on business, and pretty fun, very thankful for the opportunity.
No, yeah, like I said, looking at that video, I mean, you were in your element. You could tell. You would not be able to tell that you did not do that professionally.
Yeah.
So
Shout out to the video team. All of them were amazing individuals. Very, 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 just very fun to be around. Very much love my energy. Gave them confidence when they were recording it and doing all the movements and the fans and all of that work. So definitely shouts out to the video team.
yeah, yeah. Sorry about that. If you caught my dogs, and my wife just came home, so it's just like, okay, I've got to. I'm hoping I get through this to where I can mute before they start barking.
W wife.
um, but no. So is this something? Is rap or hip hop or freestyling? Is this something that you would like to see as a career move later on down the road?
Yes. I would like to be able to do that with not just Destiny, but probably another game. If I enjoy a game very, very much, I'll probably invest a lot of time into it and, do a little music creativity and continue to move from there when it comes down to it. But yes, that is the whole reason why I chase down music here on Kick and do Underground Uprise, meeting other musicians and people to build up and spark that energy to want to be able to make music here on Kick and, be seen by a lot of other individuals.
Now, I mean, have you ever thought about some of the songs that you've put out? We listened to one at the very beginning. I think it was the one that was the recent release, Roller Coaster.
Sorrow is the recent release. Well, Push Forward is now the newest release, but
Which,
Roller Coaster is one of the songs that got the most views because apparently even with A&Rs, that song stuck out the most. Um, Roller Coaster was just feelings and emotions talking. So uh, all my songs are based around how I feel and uh, at that time and moment, whether it's a fun time or a real time or a stressful time. Uh, I do like making music like that because it's so relatable to a lot of people, as I can see as the music takes off itself. Uh, so yeah, I uh, I didn't expect to be making music. That was one thing I didn't expect to be putting myself back in the field on, but here we are.
yeah, hey, it's like I said, whatever you feel comfortable and what you feel that it's just like going back into the content creating thing. You've got to feel what you're due in order for everybody else to be able to feel it as well.
Correct.
So I mean, you got to love it and you got to like it. You've got to. It's got to be you. It's got to be an individual thing, not what everybody else wants to see.
Yes.
So, like I said, and I think, like I said, with all your with your streams and stuff like that I've seen, um, you can tell that you are fully invested with your emotions and everything else. So, I mean, I think that's what draws a lot of people. And I think once people quit looking at all the negativity that they see on social media about the platform or any platform in that fact, and just come over for the creator themselves, I think you'll start seeing a lot more of your
My
Twitch
viewership,
fam.
yeah.
Yeah.
You could definitely see more of my family. No rush. Take your time.
I
Love
mean,
to see
yeah.
it.
I mean, like I said, yeah, it is still new. I mean, we're going on a year now for Kick.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, and it's lasted past the year. So it's just like, I mean, I think it's lasted past longer than most people thought it was going to. So,
Hmm.
um, I mean, have you ever thought about putting some of these songs that you put into a video format?
Somebody has recommended that. I don't have the proper funds yet, but once I
Mm.
get the money that I need, I will definitely start investing in doing music videos for some of these songs that are out now. Yeah,
So is there one out of your list that you think you would probably want to do first, or you
in
want
my
to keep
head.
in your head?
Hmm.
Um, so talking about some of your music, I mean, we'll go from in my head. I mean, where did that come about? How did you come up with that one?
These was just built-in stress and pains that I've felt over the years of content creation and uh, thinking to myself when I have time away from everything and sitting on a porch or just vibing out with my feet up. Um, that is how that song was delivered in a lot of ways to a lot of people. It's like when you go offline, it's you're back to reality, but you also think, and I think that is when In My Head was very much created for a purpose that had got a lot of plays for it to be the first song that I released. which I thought was pretty cool. That a lot of people can relate to my feelings and how I felt. Um, that hit them very deeply, most deeply as streamers and as us humans themselves. So that is the whole brought upon piece about the song in my head. Just let you know that it's all in your head and just got to keep going.
Yeah, your mind's a very strong and powerful critic.
Yeah.
That is for sure. Um, so out of the ones you have on Spotify right now, which one is your most your prized possession? Which one is your most favorite?
The one that would get me hyped the most.
Yeah.
All I want to do is stream.
I figured that was. It is a very hype song. I was listening to them all before we started.
Yeah, yeah. All I want to do is stream will get me hyped out of my mind and get me going. Because at the end of the day, it was for me. I am a streamer, so every day all I do is stream. So that is why that song came about and why it's out today because that's all I really do every day. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Um. So while we're continuing to talk, I'm going to ask chat real quick. Which one of I mean, I'm sure you've listened to most of them, if not all of them. Which one is your all's favorite song? You guys can just put that in chat, and then I'll get back to you because I'm kind of curious how that. I like to compare and stuff like that when it comes to things. So I mean, have you got any comments? I mean, I don't know how Spotify works on the creator side. Are you able to like get comments and stuff like that from Spotify or
No,
SoundCloud or anything like
Spotify is
that?
just a streaming platform for music. There's no comments about everything that if it's comments, people have to just tell you in a DM or in stream
I gotcha.
or in person. So
Sounds like Maze, you know what I'm gonna say.
yeah. Oh, Sin's there.
Yeah.
I'd say her favorite song is "Have You Ever."
Yep.
Have you ever? She's hooked on that song. Yeah, she's hooked on that song. So yeah, have you ever is one of her craziest yet go tos of songs to have. Oh yeah,
Now, I've noticed some of these songs that you have. You mentioned a lot of the streamers that I have heard of and listened to. I mean, you talk. I mean, I know like I said, there's a group, there's a community of streaming content creators. I mean, you've got you, Savant, Javon, Echoes Nations, Dubs. I mean, did you guys meet through Kick, or did you already know each other?
I already knew J Bond before I knew JL and Dub's music because he's been rocking with me since Destiny days. So he's been with me for the longest period before the other ones I met here on Kick.
Because I know. I mean, have you guys? I mean, besides, I mean, have you guys got together and I know like a few of you have collabed together. Have you collabed with anybody or all of them?
Not all of them yet. I collabed with Dubs on a lot of my music because he's like a brother, a family of mine. So me and him done numerous amount of songs together. I have not collabed with JL Vaughn yet. I have collabed with J Vaughn, but I have not collabed with JL Savant yet. So
So
uh,
have you?
I haven't
No.
been collabed with a lot of those individuals. The only ones I've collabed with is Iceman, 30TTG. Um, Javon, Dub's Music, and one of the other Ground Up Rising winners, Talanya. She's very, very strong, amazing, and powerful, important voice. So, just beautifully pushing voice.
So I mean, like I said, I'm new to the music side of Kick. Like I said, I know Kick does a lot more for the music industry or the music artists and stuff like that than what any other platform that I've seen does. What exactly, to kind of like school me? I mean, what does Kick do to help showcase and help highlight the new music artists over here?
The show that we host, called the Underground Uprising season 2 is on the way soon, which I'm very happy to
Sweet.
bring back. Underground Uprise put a lot of these people in the front seat of uh, individuals like Santa Maria, Eddie, some of the heads that's in the backyard, Paulie, a lot of people who's been introduced to their music that puts them in the front and being seen and being followed, and and hopes to be pushing up. Season two, we hope for the same, but even better. And season two is going to be better. So there's just a lot more on the table to be offered for season two versus season one, to put more eyes on them and more attention on them for majors. So
So, the uprising, that's like I said, I've never seen anything, that is a group based. I mean, whose idea was it? Who's the ringleader behind that?
me and Dubs.
You and Dubs?
Hmm.
Sweet. Um, have you seen a lot more of the music creators and stuff like that grow in, since you've done that? Has the music category
Yes
grown more?
and no. So yes and
No.
no. It's
Oh,
more of a the hype, and then when the hype dies down, that's when their viewership goes right back to scrap. So we want to try to do it better this time around, and try to get more people involved and keep them here. That is what the goal is to get them here and try to keep them here, so they can watch these musicians go to work, uh, and build up and show them what they have. That is, we want people to stay. That is the whole deal, and that's the hardest thing to do, but it's a challenge I'm willing to take.
okay. Yeah, I mean, that's great for you guys because, like I said in the beginning, music has been a part of, our life, our culture, and everything else all through generations and centuries and
Yes,
eons down the road. Um, I do think it's an important part for anybody. So, I mean, are you like in talks with Kick staff and stuff like that on trying to help like build different ideas to try to keep the music community growing over here?
yes.
And are they very receptive to that? I mean, do they understand that it's a
They see just as much as we see, so it's yet again not on the hey, let's do it, let's help them do it right now. It's in due time. It's everything's a time process, so it takes time. Getting more musicians over here and the underground uprise, they truly believe like we do that will reel more uh creators here over the Kick that are musicians once they see the things that are being up for offer, uh when it comes down to it. And that's something that we hope will reel more people from whatever platform you are, or even just a musician in general who wants to take a chance. So we're definitely out here at work, standing on business to find ways to bring more people in.
and that's the hardest thing to do, especially just getting people motivated.
Yeah, yeah,
I think that's the hardest part to do on anything.
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, motivation, getting people motivated, that is very hard. um, so what do you got planned for yourself? I mean, as you just get what are like your 3 year goals?
My 3 year goals, I don't have any to share. They're all in my head. I try to keep them to myself, so I really don't share those 3 year goals.
Gotcha.
Um, but I do know that they are coming. I am just following the path to get to them.
Hey,
So,
totally understandable.
hmm
um, so a little bit on the lighter side. I mean, like I said, is there anything that you wanted to add to this? That's something that that's I didn't
I
touch base
think
on tonight.
you've touched based on a lot of things, and I think the conversation that we had, this yet again a W podcast that I've been on, um, very cool, very fun, very relaxing. Um, a lot of information has been given today, so this has been wonderful. It's been wonderful. I don't have nothing to add to this.
I appreciate it. Yeah, because I was like really, I always get nervous. I don't know if Sen gets
Why are
nervous, like when
you nervous?
it's just a thing. Every single interview I do, I get nervous. It's just me.
You know, you did really well. Be proud of yourself. This was beautiful.
I appreciate that. So like on like you do, yeah. I think it's just a podcast thing. I think everybody does it because everybody I ask, it's like, yeah, we get a little nervous until we get into it, and then we start to feel a little bit more comfortable.
Good.
And 10 years down the road, I might, not even think about it, but I do enjoy it. I do enjoy this more than I do gaming. So,
Good. That's what we
oh, yeah. I mean, so a little bit on the like the current event side. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, I like to get everybody's aspects on certain current events. I mean, and especially since we're talking about the music side, the whole thing. What do you think about? Have you been keeping up like with what happened with Puff Daddy, P Diddy?
No, because I already knew, so it's not a shock to me as it would be to everybody else. I'm not shocked at how many more that I can't wait for them to catch. The high up industry is always doing some sneaky yet questionable shit. So that is just something that is not new to me because they're all highly weird. So yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, that kind of like led off into my last topic of the night. It was to, like the music industry, people that are wanting to get into it. I talked a little bit about with some of the other ones. I mean, like I said, you've been in the field in the arena for a little while.
Oh yeah.
Um, what what have you? I mean, like I said, I'm sure you've tried to get into like doing something mainstream or something like that. Have you ever tried doing something like that?
Yeah, I turned it down. A&R's actually really wanted to sign me, but not my partners. I just was not with that. I was not with the get down of that get down. We worked together. They did pull me to the side and did give me a call solo, um, and wanted to work with me alone and leave the group behind. And I was like, yeah, nah. So I turned that down. So it might have been a missed opportunity, but opportunity I'm glad I missed. So yeah.
Yeah, I hear that a lot. I do, and you see that a lot.
Hmm.
There's a group. I mean, even like in the movies and everything else. So it's just like they always pull the solo out and try to get them to go their route.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, we're not doing that. P Diddy not touching me. He's good.
Y- because I'm like a current events type of guy too. I try to like I used to do a lot of stuff on current events and the political realm of stuff, and so the current events always grab my attention. And when this broke yesterday, that they were raiding his houses, and then all of a sudden, social media went crazy.
Yeah, I was
Um,
not shocked. I actually clapped. So I can't wait till they get the rest of them. Oh yeah.
um, and the funny thing is then I started going back on like older interviews of people that were talking about it and stuff like that. It's like YouTube's wonderful. All you got to do is type in something and you can pull up anything. Um, but I was listening to Cat Williams. I was listening to some of his interviews, and listening to even like Usher and all of them. It was just crazy.
Cat Williams and Kanye, all they did was break down the real things, and a lot of people just aren't ready for the real
Mm.
things. A lot of people just they're looking at so many lies right now, and I think that's the issue with the world of social media is they're so blinded by the system that they don't know what's really happening in their eyes. So everything is a lie until it's not anymore. Everything's a game till it's not anymore. Uh, which is what I constantly try to do to wake people up when they're on my streams, to support good people and really value them and give them that love because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, you're gonna wish you had those good people in your corner. I
Yep.
think a lot of people really just don't understand that concept yet, but hopefully one day they will. Hopefully they wake up one day. But all of these, everything is smoke and mirrors. That's why I always give everybody the organic truths and unreal truths that a lot of people are uncomfortable with because you've been hearing so many lies, and so many lies can become truths. Uh, that is something that needs to change.
Yeah, we've gone through a lot of that here in the last couple of years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Things have been twisted and turned, and well, like I said, I think it's the whole pandemic thing of being locked in your house and stuff like that. That was the only thing you could do was get on social media and either troll or try to come up with what you say. Most of them are opinions, but they need to research their opinions before they put them out.
Yeah, as everybody has an opinion.
Yeah.
It's nutty. So
But well, ladies and gentlemen, one thing is, I mean, I do want to, like I said, I don't know who's ever listening, but if anybody had any family or whatever in the whole bridge incident in that area today, I hope everybody was safe.
bless their souls, man. That is very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Oh,
And
that
that goes,
Baltimore thing was very unexpected.
And that
It's
goes,
so
yeah,
bad with the P Diddy thing too. So
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's just like everything, like usually chaotic things like happens in three, so I'm waiting for what's going to be the
one
third
more.
one.
Yep, you're
Yeah,
just like me. Yep.
what's going to be next?
Who's next? What else is happening? Give it to me.
P Diddy got him a plane ticket to Gilligan's Island.
Who said that?
Click, click.
Click it. Good old click it. Gilligan's Island. Oh man, that's all time low.
But yeah, that whole thing just, I mean, like I said, you gotta be careful who you listen to on social media. It's just like I said,
Yeah.
with the whole bridge thing, because everybody's out for engagement, so they're just gonna start feeding stories of
Oh
what they
yeah,
think.
drama's eating these up. All the
Yeah.
drama news is eating all these up right now. So, God.
I mean, it's just like people are already sitting there. I mean, they're zooming in on the video of the bridge and sitting and saying, "Hey, look at this and look at that." And it's just like,
Yeah.
dude, and they were looking. It's like, yeah, there's explosions on the bridge. You get all the conspiracy. I mean, I'm a conspiracy theorist when it comes to a point, but I don't like deep dive into
We
some of the
all are.
craziness.
I'm definitely one, and I'm definitely a full believer of a lot of things that a lot of people don't believe in. But at the end of the day, people each their own.
Yeah.
Seen so many lies in the industry, I would not be shocked.
Oh yeah, yeah. And like I said, I think more and more. I think the industry is breaking down. I think it's why everybody's getting scared.
Good.
I think between the as it started out as a Me Too movement, now it's coming into, I don't know if you guys seen the whole thing about the Nickelodeon deal that came out. They finally got the documentary released.
Good.
Um,
Not
you
too
know,
much
it's
about
just,
that either. I'm yelling again, Hollywood.
oh, no. I mean, as I was going to say, go back in history, look at everything back in history. Yeah.
Mhm.
But I mean, I do fear that, I know they probably aren't scared, but it's like Cat Williams and, and some of the other ones that are coming out on that side of the industry. I do feel for their life because it is a dog eat dog world, literally.
Gonna do some shady things to go to the top. Let me tell you.
I was just thinking about that. This is 2024 bingo card is anyone's guess. Yep. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come do this. And I really, really enlightened me. And I love talking with people that, have a lot of information and stuff like that to give to everybody. So definitely make sure you guys I put his link to his Spotify. If you guys don't know where it is, you guys can go up there and click on that and listen to all his songs. Make sure you download them, do all that, get him all the interaction as possible on Spotify. And yeah, watch this guy because, like I said, he's one of the up and coming and one of the good guys that are over here. So yeah, I'm gonna let you go. I appreciate it.
Thank
And,
you for having me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening and watching. And if you guys want to catch a live show, you can catch us over on kick.com/They Hang Out Live. Also, all the videos will be up on our YouTube channels. All the links and stuff will be in the descriptions. Make sure you guys check out everybody we talk to. Like I said, we're all over the place. So until next time, have a good one.
But we're on the side of the honest truth, exploring perspectives. Time to take off the blinders.